Impeachment trial now na!
Wag i-dismiss!
Impeachment trial now na!
Impeachment trial now na!
Huwag i-dismiss!
Impeachment trial now na!
Huwag i-dismiss!
Hello po mga ka-viral and welcome back again to this YouTube channel. Latest update na naman tayo ngayon. Supreme Court naglabas na ng desisyon hinggil sa walang aksyon ng Senado sa impeachment complaint na pinirmahan ng 215 ng mga mamabatas against Vice President Sara Duterte. Kongreso ipinagpaliwanag din ng Supreme Court sa regularity ng pagpasa ng 4th impeachment complaint. Matatandaang ipinabalik ng 18 mga senador noong nakaraang buwan ang articles of impeachment dahil sa dahilan ng Senado na questionabling legality ng ikaapat na impeachment complaint. Ipinagpaliwanag din ng Senado ang Kongreso kung anong nangyari sa tatlong impeachment at bakit hindi agad ito ipinasa. Nanindigan naman ang Kongreso na walang nilabag sa Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 sa Constitution that says, no impeachment proceeding shall be initiated against the same official more than once within a period of 1 year dahil pasok sa isang taon ang ikaapat na impeachment nila. Samantala, umani naman ng malawakang pambabatikos ang Senado, lalo na sa Senate President ng 19th Congress na si Senator Escudero at ang 17 mga senador dahil sa pag-aantala di umano ng impeachment at tila meron pang mga senador na nagbabalak na ipa-dismiss ang impeachment ngayong 20th Congress. Dahil dito, maraming mga netizens ngayon ang pumapabor na pananagutin ang Senado sa naging kilos nila taliwas sa kilos na nararapat sa isang impeachment court.
Sir, sa latest SWS survey on the impeachment, 66% of the respondents agreed. Kasama po dun sa mga taga Mindanao where you're from, 55% po yung nag-agree rin. 19% disagreed and 15% are undecided on the issue of whether or not the VP should address the allegations in the impeachment. Your thoughts po?
It's a direct expression of what the people says that we are what the 19th Congress did and what we continuously do, holding each officials, the Vice President in this particular matter, accountable to her actions, is a vindication from the public that there's really a clamor ng ating taong bayan na dapat yung public clamor for accountability ng mga issues na hindi nasagot ay dapat masagot sa tamang paraan, which is this case, the impeachment trial. So, nagpapatunay po ito na we are on the right track. What we did was actually to serve not any particular political agenda, but for the interest of the nation. And the people understood that message. Kaya yung survey na mataas na sinasabing kailangan umpisahan ang impeachment trial ay vindication po yan unang-una sa mga sa ginawa po natin na para panagutin kung sino man yung dapat managot without fear or favor. So we're happy personally as one of those who supported the impeachment complaint, affixed my signature. I feel that I'm vindicated and I feel that the people are with us in holding public officials accountable to their actions.
Pero sir, may impact po ba itong public clamor na ito? Because there had been surveys in the past where the respondents agreed that the trial should have already started.
I think the message that the public wants to send to us as public officials is to be more attuned and compliant with what the Constitution says. And the Constitution says that those impeachable officers, if they are facing serious violations that is tantamount to betrayal of public trust, then impeachment trial as demanded by the Constitution.
Tanong ko lang kasi di ba meron pa tayong second requirement from the Senate regarding sa impeachment, yung parang certification na itutuloy pa rin ng 20th Congress. Meron na bang usap-usapan dito, sir? Meron na bang lumapit sa inyo about the resolution or meron na bang numbers to actually comply with the second requirement?
What do you mean the second requirement, yung certification? What's actually the exact question? Ano po ba pa? Sorry, hindi ko na... Do we have the
I mean,
numbers?
no, I mean, sir, meron na bang discussions about that for the 20th Congress? Kumbaga, meron na bang lumapit sa inyo to say na, oh, we will file a resolution, we need the support of this, of lawmakers to certify na itutuloy pa nga ng 20th Congress yung yung pursuit of the impeachment case?
Yung sa, in terms of, kasi yung continuation of the impeachment trial is actually born out from the issue of the challenge for jurisdiction. So I guess the issue on jurisdiction has already been settled. Kasi nag-start na nga, nag-convene na nga impeachment trial. So whether or not the 20th Congress, the Senate, convening into impeachment court in the 20th Congress is concerned, that has already been answered, no, by the Senate. Number two, your question whether somebody approached me, I still stand on my previous position that I support anybody, any officers, especially if the allegations are backed up by concrete hard evidences, to hold all officers accountable to their actions. Sinusuportahan ko yan. And it's very clear. It's out in the public, 200 plus. Hindi ko lang eksakto, 215 ba? Yung 215 members of the House of Representatives signed the impeachment complaint and voted in favor of transmitting the impeachment, 7 in verified impeachment complaints to the Senate. Number 3, I still stand. Number 3 is I would respect and maintain that the prosecuting House of Representatives would be ready for whatever eventualities that may happen. We have capable lawyers, congressmen, members of the House, congressmen, congresswomen, and congressmen, congress members will also be in the prosecution team to pursue and to work, and to comply with whatever whatever the orders of the courts would ask them to provide.
Sir, isa na lang. Malapit na
Gawin
kasi...
mo lang dalawa.
malapit na kasi yung budget season, sir. Are you willing again to sponsor the budget of the OVP?
I'm open to any task given to me.
Change, may RBH na po kasing final kahapon.
The amending some provisions, key provisions in the Constitution, kasi matagal na po itong Constitution na ito. Matanda na po itong, mas matanda po itong Constitution sa mga tao na nandito ngayon sa kwarto na ito. I guess we need to make sure that our Constitution is alive, dynamic, that it can also reflect the current situation, the current demand of the country. So ako, that the reason why I supported the effort to amend key provisions in the Constitution, particularly the economic provision, so that we can also be at par and compete with the international market trend. Kasi mukhang wawala na po tayo, medyo nasa dulo na po tayo. So, if there is an effort to again revive the issue on constitutional amendments, to cite specific provisions, then I am up for it.
Sir, how will you address yung fears po ng marami na this will open the doors to political amendments?
Similar to what we have answered in the previous interviews such as this, na I would stick to limiting the discussion on key provisions. Hindi pag-uusapan yung political provisions ng ating Constitution. It is just merely surgical. We target what are the causes of why the country is now lagging behind in terms of socio-economic condition compared to our ASEAN neighbors, and let's stick to that and no longer delve on matters that may affect not constructively the mindset of the people insofar as knowing the political situation, halimbawa na baka ang fear nila is mapunta doon sa usapin ng pampolitika. So ang akin lang po, ang aking position dyan, similar with our position in the previous Congress, in the 19th Congress, limitado lang po yung pag-uusapan at hindi po mag-i-expand yan sa complete revision ng ating Constitution.
Sir, meron lang pong, baka pwede magpa-comment po. Kasi sinabi daw po ni Senator Joel Villanueva sa informal meeting nila, August 4, ang tinitingnan na pag-convene ng impeachment court at pag-oath ng senator judges. That's a week after po nung pag-open ng first regular session ng 20th Congress. Your comment on that?
Matagal na po namin sinasabi, nirerespeto po namin ng Senado ang kanilang timeline. 5 buwan na po kaming nag-antay, more than 5 months. 5 buwan din po kaming pinapakita ang aming respeto sa Senado bilang isang impeachment court. So kung ano po yung sa palagay nila ay tamang panahon or oras na sila ay mag-convene as an impeachment court na naaayon sa sinabi po ng Senate President Escudero na as soon as magkaroon ng SONA ay magko-convene sila ng impeachment, tutuloy nilang impeachment, ay yun po ay respeto namin.
Pero sir, that's a week, hindi po right after the SONA.
Sabi ko nga po, kapangyarihan po nila yan. Kami po dito sa House, we will maintain our position that we respect the Senate convening as an impeachment court and we will comply whatever orders they would ask us to do. Especially the prosec team, they are not only more than able but respectful legislators and respectful prosecution panel.
Sir, may other matters. May final po si Senator Amy Marcos na bill. Ang tawag po niya, President Rodrigo R. Duterte Act na yun nga po, yung pagbabawal po sana na magkaroon ng arrest and ililipat po sa ibang bansa without a local warrant. Your comment on that?
Any legislator or any senator, congressman man po yan or senado, meron po silang kapangyarihan o entitled ho sila na ipasa kung ano man yung mga gusto nilang ipasa. Ang sa akin lang po ay una, if it's about legal issue, if it's about justice and accountability, it should not be selective.
Follow-up? Go ahead, Rose.
Sorry po, follow-up ko lang. Since ang title din ng bill ay President Rodrigo Duterte Act, sa tingin niyo po selective tong bill na to?
I cannot comment on why Senator Amy Marcos chose the name to be the title of her proposed measure. I'm sure she's very open of her bias in favor of the president. So I would leave it at that. Maybe she has that kind of respect to the president. Again, all legislators are entitled to file measures that they think and they deem important to the country. But sa ang position ko po, it's when it comes to upholding justice, promoting justice, and making each and every one of us accountable to our actions, the law and the country and the government should not be selective in its application. Pare-pareho po yan. Pagdating po sa batas, egalitarian dapat po ang ating point of view.
Hi, Kong Zia. Good afternoon po. Sir, kahapon, nag-file po si Kong Benny Abante ng total ban of all forms ng online gambling. Kaya na naman po, nakuha ko yung sentimento ni Attorney Shell Joc, no? Ang sinusulong ng Akbayan Party List ay restriction or strict regulation. Pero kung kayo po ang tatanungin, Kong, as we've said before, gusto nyo nga na total ban sana. Kung yun po ang point of debate, saan po kayo mas papanik?
Ang sa akin lang, very basic po ang aking proposal at aking gusto. If we want to remove the poisonous tree, you uproot it, not to trim the branches. Kasi ang problema po ngayon sa e-sugal or e-gambling, mahirap talaga i-police at i-monitor dyan. So, hindi ho ako, masakit ko naisipin na sabihin ho natin na i-restrict man lang natin but sabilang nagpa-pop up. So the problem really is not just to restrict it and allow its operation, but the impact of that if we continue on allowing this kind of games online. Kasi digital na nga po yan eh. And everybody has phones, even our children. Ang problema sa ngayon, masyado nang tumataas po yung youth addiction sa gambling because of this online gambling. Sabi ko nga po, hindi lang po problema yan ata sa yung financial distress ng pamilya. Hindi lang ito problema sa addiction sa mga kabataan. Pag inaalaw po natin ito ay mukhang magiging problema.
Good morning po, Kongs. Given po yung question on the constitutionality of the impeachment proceedings and how they would move forward po, may need po ba to revisit rules on impeachment such as yung 1-year bar rule nga po and making the term forthwith more specific, more may timeline po siya?
Well, yung po nga 1-year bar rule, it's a constitutional provision eh. So hindi ho natin yan pwedeng galawin unless meron po tayong constitutional amendment. No? Pangalawa, syempre ginagalang din po natin yung karapatan ng Korte Suprema na to look into the facts concerning po yung on whether or not nakapag-comply nga po sa 1-year bar rule. Obviously, yung Congress, meron siyang sariling pagtingin in each and every case po na na-raise, no? From Francisco to Gutierrez, I think up until to today, syempre we will probably be raising some questions on whether or not there is an actual judicial overreach on the question. Pero ginagalang po natin yung jurisprudence na inabot na po nito. No? So, I guess, patapusin muna natin ho yung proseso, una, ng Korte Suprema. Pangalawa, ito pong impeachment po muna ni Vice President Sara Duterte, bago ho natin pag-usapan po siguro yung pagbabago po ng rules na impeachment ng Kongreso. At di ko alam kung yung Senado magbabago din po ng sariling nilang rules.
Well, unang-una, hindi po natin po pwedeng baguhin yung proseso ng impeachment sa House Rules kung hindi po ito mag-aakma sa ating saligang batas. Considering na yung sinasabi at maliwanag naman po yung provision na ito sa ating saligang batas, hindi po natin ito mababago.
And then regarding naman po yung reports na nag-withdraw raw po si Lorna Kapunan bilang legal counsel ni Atong Ang, sabi raw to focus on her role as private prosecutor. Makaka-affect ba ito sa ginagawa nilang pag-reconsider kay Kapunan, sa inyo, kay Kapunan as private prosecutor po?
Well, to be honest with you, si Attorney Kapunan po ay isang abogado. So dapat i-separate po natin yung kanyang trabaho dito po kay Atong Ang dahil ang ginagampanan po niya doon ay trabaho niya bilang isang abogada. Sa amin naman po kasi, siya po ay pro bono, hindi pa po siya parte ng private prosecutor. Siya po ay from time to time kinukonsulta po namin bilang isang abogado at bilang isang legal expert. Hinihingihan po namin sila ng kanilang mga opinion. And to be honest with you, marami rin po sila. Hindi lang naman po si Attorney Kapunan ang nagbibigay po ng pro bono service sa amin bilang isang mga eksperyensadong mga abogado.
Salamat, Agatha. Earl Tobias from IBC 13. Please proceed.
Kongs, good morning po. Sir, napaliwanag na to dati pero lumutang ulit dahil doon nga sa resolusyon ng Korte Suprema. Ang pagkakaposisyon po kasi ni Vice President Sara Duterte doon sa argumento niya sa 1-year bar rule ay deliberately daw po na sinircumvent o as if iniwasan ni House Secretary General Velasco yung tatlong naunang na-file na impeachment complaint para magkaroon daw ng oras doon sa pang-apat na impeachment. So it's as if, sir, sinasabi na meron talagang allegedly intention na hindi initiate yung tatlo para hindi ma-violate yung 1-year bar rule. Pero sir, does that not warrant proof on your part? And ano lang pong masasabi nyo na ganun yung argumento ni BP Sara?
Sige, better ako sumagot doon dahil wala pa naman ako 19th Congress, so I can speak as a disinterested party. Ang pinakamagandang sumagot dito ay siyempre si SecGen, no? SecGen Reggie Velasco, kung ano ho yung naging circumstances po ng unang tatlo na impeachment complaints. Pero I think legally, at ito naman ho yung tatanong, yung standards po talaga ng Francisco Gutierrez malinaw. May nag-file? Una, may nag-file. Alam na ho natin yun, no? Pero pangalawa, nagkaroon ba ng referral to the House Committee on Justice? Kung wala, how would the 1-year bar actually set in. Hindi ba? So, ibig sabihin, we should let Section Reggie explain how it happened, but hindi ho nare-refer. No? Pero, I think yun po yung standard na itatanong po ng Korte Suprema on whether or not the one-year bar rule was actually breached. No? At again, dun sa 4 po na impeachment complaints, malinaw po yung sagot po rito nang talaga po nga tumawid to the Senate, yung talaga po nga magkikick in yung pong one-year bar rule ay wala pong iba kundi yung 4th impeachment complaint.
Yung one-year bar rule, tingin ko marami ng paliwanag na nailahad dito. Ang tanong ko lang, bakit lagi silang nakatingin sa procedural aspect? Bakit hindi po nila sagutin yung mismong meat o yung core ng impeachment? Tingin ko yun ang nililihis po nila yung issue. Dahil ang issue po talaga dito, saan napunta yung 125 million or yung 612.5 million na hinahanap po na hanggang ngayon ay hindi po maipaliwanag.
Thank you, sir. Follow-up na lang din po. As part of the House Prosecution Panel, Kong Joel, napasadahan nyo na po kanina. Pero sa pagko-convene ulit ng Senado para buksan yung kanilang, para simulan na yung paglilitis sana kay VP Sara Duterte, would it be acceptable for the House Prosecution Panel kung maging matter of debate pa rin at kapatid ng motion to dismiss ay ikabit ng mga ilang senator judges na nagpahayag na ng kanilang mga sentiments about that, yung meron ng desisyon, meron ng pending na about the petition dito sa Korte Suprema kaya dapat i-dismiss na lalo yung BP Sara impeachment trial?
Hanggat wala pong temporary restraining order na inilalabas po ang ating Korte Suprema, meron po tayo laging presumption of regularity or legality. Kaya sa amin pong paniniwala, dapat po mag-proceed na po ang trial.
Thank you, Earl. Yanes Kapanti from GMA Online.
Good morning po. Ay, afternoon natin. Balikan ko lang po yung Supreme Court order kasi you cited two Supreme Court decisions, yung Francisco and Gutierrez. These are Supreme Court decisions, so we can assume the Supreme Court already knows that the impeachment complaint filed are within what is provided under the Constitution, given, in addition, this two Supreme Court rulings. So, hindi ba cause of concern yun na tinatanong pa rin nila yung circumstances nung unang tatlo when meron na ngang Francisco and Gutierrez, Francisco versus House and Gutierrez versus the House, SC rulings? Kasi, di ba, by logic, dapat alam na nila given this two jurisprudence. I would assume they know the jurisprudence, so why still ask about the circumstances of these three at this point? Hindi ba concern yon sa prosecution panel?
Hindi po, because we are court of records. So hindi ka naman, ibig sabihin po ng court of records, magbabase po sila sa record na hawak po nila. So paano po nila i-apply yung one-year bar rule kung wala po sila mga record na hawak o dokumento? Kaya nga po hinihingi po nila for compliance. Ito po ay a matter of documentation na sa amin pong paniniwala ay pag na-comply na po ng House at ng Senado ay makikita po na talaga naman po na pasok po yung one year, wala po tayo na violate sa one-year bar rule.
Siyempre, ginagalang ho natin yung mandato ng Korte Suprema na mag-require ng impormasyon po mula sa Kongreso at sa iba pa hong mga departamento na involved po dito sa impeachment proceedings po na ito. No? Siyempre, tama yung binanggit yun. Alam po nila yung Gutierrez, alam po nila yung Francisco. Pero siyempre, ibang sitwasyon po ngayon, iba yung actual facts na nangyari po rito. So, kung makakapagbigay ho yung Kongreso ng dagdag pa hong mga impormasyon, obviously, ibibigay po ng Kongreso ito para makapagbigay linaw din po sa Korte Suprema. But again, and I am sure, the standard that has been set in Francisco and Gutierrez will remain in this case. The question will always be, was there a complaint that was filed? And second, was there an actual referral to the House Committee on Justice? Yun po yung una. Pangalawa, nagkaroon po ba ng direct plenary action, 1/3 ng mga kongresista na nag-file po ng impeachment complaint. No? So, yan po yung standard na gagawin po ng Korte Suprema based on Francisco and Gutierrez at magbabatay po siya sa actual facts na talaga pong maisasubmit ng Kongreso po sa kanila.
Follow up po, sir. Just in case lang that the Supreme Court issues a temporary restraining order against holding the impeachment trial of the Vice President, what would be the recourse for the prosecution then? Kasi usually, pag may TRO or may hindi ka nanalo sa lower court, you go to the Supreme Court. But in this case, anong mangyayari kung nag-TRO?
Well, of course, kung may TRO, di siyempre susunod ang impeachment court. But of course, we will do all legal remedies para ito ay ma-lift. At alam naman po natin na lagi na itong ginagawa naman po natin ay nasa tama.
Siyempre, it's a hypothetical question, no? Kasi hindi naman ho natin alam kung actually pong magkakaroon po ng TRO. Pero I'm quite certain and I'm confident na alam po ng executive, alam po ng legislative at alam po ng judiciary, no? Yung paghati po ng mga kapangyarihan sa usapin po ng impeachment, no? So, kasi obviously pagka nagkaroon ng TRO, talagang it will put a temporary stop to the proceedings. And the question therefore to them would be, is it actually constitutionally allowed for them to do so? So, antayin na lang ho natin. I'm quite sure na tatalima naman po sa separation of powers ang atin pong Korte Suprema.
Thank you, sir. That's all. Thank you po.
Thank you, Leonesca. Marian Enriquez from TV5.
Good morning po. Kong Chua, you mentioned about, sabi niyo po kanina, walang dahilan para antayin ng Senado kung ano yung magiging desisyon ng Korte Suprema dahil wala naman TRO na nilalabas. Dapat mag-proceed na yung trial forthwith hanggat hindi ito pinahinto ng Kamara ay ng Korte Suprema. Kong Ridon, you also said they just have to do their constitutional mandate, try and decide. Naka-5th month rin na po yung impeachment complaint doon sa Senado since you filed it po last February. Pero hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin pa nga pong nangyayari. So ano po ba, since we're talking about the constitutionality of everything, wala po bang gagawin ang House or may gagawin po ba ang Kamara para man lang questioning din po yung aksyon ng Senado sa hindi pa rin po nila pagpapatuloy ng impeachment trial?
Kung kukwestiyonin po namin, di panibagong pagdidelay na naman ang mangyayari. Kaya sa totoo lang, lahat naman po tayo nag-aabang na, nag-aantay na. Lahat naman po ng hinihingi ng ating mga kagalang-galang na Senator Judges, lalo-lalo na ng ating Senator Judge, Senate President, ay kinukomplay naman po natin. Hanggat may kukomplay po natin.
I think the House naman po has eternal patience on the impeachment. And the reason for this is very clear. Yung usapin po ng accountability, usapin po ng katotohanan, usapin po ng pagpapanagot dito po sa mga nangyari sa confidential funds, hindi ho bibitawan ng panibagong kongreso po ito. So, if it doesn't happen today, if you have to wait a few more months, no, dito sa usapin po na ito, then I guess the Congress will wait for it. Pero, again, the Senate Impeachment Court has a constitutional obligation to try and decide the case. There's no reason for a motion to dismiss. Dapat pag-usapan po in a full-blown trial yung usapin po ng impeachment ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
Sir, you also mentioned about there should be no motion to dismiss. Si Senator Panfilo Lacson, I think just yesterday,